and your colleagues, northern elite, you have failed your people.
Well, I will enter a plea of not guilty to that charge, in the sense that, have we been given the opportunity, for example, to occupy, you understand, positions from which we can generate policies that will address these issues? If you don't have that opportunity, what do you do?
Wait. North is saying that the South is responsible for their pervasive poverty and impoverishment. Is this senator smoking crack? Well, let us listen to the nonsense this guy has to say. Then afterwards, we'll come back to analyze whatever he has said. Let me enjoy my bread for now.
I think what is happening is that because of deficit of education, maybe, and I hope I'm wrong, maybe the leaders did not put in place what was reasonably necessary to accommodate that dislocation for the purpose of educating the populace. Not have a house where I can provide 27 rooms for everybody to sleep comfortably. And you know what comfort does to intellectual development, you know. So that is not correct. So rather, they leave it that way. That's how.
But isn't the failure of the leadership of the Northern?
It is. It is.
So you and your colleagues, northern elite, you have failed your people.
Well, I will enter a plea of not guilty to that charge, in the sense that, have we been given the opportunity, for example, to occupy, you understand, positions from which we can generate policies that will address these issues? If you don't have that opportunity, what do you do?
But the northern elite have failed the people of the North.
Well, I don't want
with the rate of out-of-school children, the level of poverty in that, the backwardness that you see in development, isn't a sheer failure of some of you who lead the North?
I don't know what your definition of failure is. But
when people from that region of the country cannot favorably stand shoulder to shoulder with their colleagues in the South, they don't have the same advantage or the same opportunity that they have. Most of them are on the street. Do you know the number of millions of people, children who are on the street?
That was inherent. If I conversely now accuse the southern part of the country of moving with policies that deliberately put the North in the disadvantaged area, what will be your defense?
Is it the South that caused the disadvantages that you see in the North?
There are a lot of things that came to play.
There are those people who say some of the southern states are deliberate efforts by some leaders in the South to keep the South more developed than you find in the North. These are debates.
Let me tell you,
these are conversations.
These conversations at times will generate something different because the understanding may be different. But let me tell you something. Unfortunately, we fought a war. After the war, you understand, the civil service of this country was hijacked by a section of this country. And therefore, deliberate efforts were made to make sure that their people are empowered. As a deliberate issue. Deliberate policy was put in place, albeit not clearly outwardly, that can be read, to keep another section perpetually distant from the civil service of this country. You understand?
And you blame leaders from the South for that?
Why will I blame them? I won't blame them, but I will say they betrayed the thinking of our heroes past, who believe in the unity of this country and who wanted to see a strong, united Nigeria. They betrayed that.
So you do not accept the blame on the northern elite for keeping the North underdeveloped?
They are not keeping maybe what I don't understand. You see,
you still don't agree that your children are on the street, Senator, in the northern part of the country, in their millions, out of school, uncared for, uncatered for.
Let me tell you.
Is that not the failure of the leaders of that region?
It's not.
Who is responsible for them?
I don't want to say it's failure. You understand? Now, education is not something you pick on the street. It's a resource-backed enterprise. You understand? Now, can you honestly say that resource-wise, they not had opportunity to have the resources that will turn the North around educationally? You were able to do your own, Sheung, because I've given you an example that if you take 10 Sheungs from the South, their children will be averaging 3 and 4. If you take 10 Balana Allahs from the North, they will be averaging 12, 20. So if, for example, you give 1 million to Sheung to educate 4 children, and you give the same 1 million for Allah to educate 27 children, that doesn't mean I have 27. I have only 3. You understand? So you see, these things are issues that were as old as the independence of this country, and our leaders knew about this, and they have made efforts to make sure that that situation is reversed.
Senator Ibnin na Allah, just as his name implies, is of course a lover of Islam. He is a man that objected family planning scheme when Obasanjo brought it. Within the period of 1999 to 2007, Obasanjo came up with so many population control policies. But you know what the North said? The North said that according to their religion, a man is given that premise to marry 4 wives. The limit of children is not accounted for. The woman can produce as much as 10. So in a situation whereby one man marries to 4 wives and each of them optimize their womb, they give birth to 10 children per woman. I mean, what I tell you is, at least in a space of 5 years, one man will have produced 40 children, enough to play a football match. Now, Senator Ibn Allah coming out, pointing fingers towards the South, that the South are responsible for the poverty they are facing today, is something that can never be expected of someone who calls himself a leader, who's now even achieved to become a senator. He attained such an height in Nigerian politics. It simply shows you the mindset of not just an average Northerner, but the mindset of an elite in the North. These guys are so hell-bent thinking that Nigeria belongs to them and belongs to them alone. You can imagine the statement that the resources available to the South is not available to the North. Okay, is Senator Ibn Allah expecting the federal government to allocate 95% of the revenue generated from the South to them in the North, so they can understand that the South is ready to support one Nigeria? I would have said God will punish your mouth, but let me just hold it for now. Let me hold it for now. This man has the temerity to say that the Nigeria faced a civil war, and after that civil war, some section now is talking about the Yorubas. Before the civil war, the complaint by the Saudana was the Igbos hijacked the civil war. Now, the complaint from Senator IBN Allah is that after the civil war, some sections of this country hijacked the civil service. They are more in the Civil Service Commission. Maybe Senator Ibn Allah is unaware, or maybe he's just trying to be intentionally deceptive, whatever the case is. Let him be aware that in the CBN, we have more Northerners than the old Southerners. In fact, we have more Fulanis in the CBN than Yorubas, Igbos combined. Let us go to the NNPC. NNPC see after the Yorubas, who of course are in that position because of their qualifications, the next people are the Northerners. Under the military regime, which were mostly Northerners, there was never for once an Igbo person was made the NNPC chairman. There was never a time an Igbo man was made the NNPC managing director. If he was, he wouldn't spend more than a year. They kicked him out. Coming out, crying wolf that the South have enormous resources that you cannot compare. A man who gave birth to 3 kids not to have a better life than the Northerners. That the Southerners are supposed to give them more resources. That the Southerner are supposed to be the one working, while their bamboo, or is it their monkey, go dey chop. Monkey they work, bamboo they chop. Okay, their own bamboo go dey chop. The structure that we currently have today, we the Southerners want an out from it. We want to stop. We've had enough. For 65 years, the South has literally carried the North on our back. If you look into the Nigerian financial books today, if federal government of Nigeria generates total revenue of, let's say, 20 trillion, I tell you, from that 20 trillion, 17 trillion is from the South. 3 trillion from the North. Who has more states? The North. North has 19 states. The South has how many? 17. Should it be a situation whereby the revenue generated is so skewed? The misalignment from 20 million, if the North were generating, let's say, 9 trillion and South was generating 11 trillion, we will understand that these guys are ready to be productive. These guys are leech. They're like mosquitoes that will bite through your safety boot and still suck on you. The South have always said, we want to control our VAT. We want to ensure that the money we generate from oil and gas resources, it is us and for us alone. And we give 30% back to the federal post. From the 30% that we as Southerners would have collectively contributed to the central post, the federal government can now decide on how they want to share it generally. Maybe for agricultural security, maybe for national security, whatever, it is none of our business. Coming out, lamenting that the South betrayed the one Nigeria unity is a total aberration. It is not worthy of you. You are not supposed to be one saying such. We the Southerners are supposed to be the one lamenting that the North have betrayed the Nigerian cause. We the Southerners are the ones who are supposed to say that you guys today are liabilities. You guys give birth to children, you don't take care of them. When those kids find a way to just find themselves in a bus that's traveling down to the South, they come down here and then they start creating menace on the streets of a southern state. Go to Ogun State, go to Akwa Ibom State, go to Lagos State, go to Oyo State, go to those bus stops. You see these Fulani women, these Hausa women, all just roaming around on the street. You see some of them with 4 kids, then you look at you ask yourself, I that is making at least 200,000 naira per month, I am not thinking on having more than one child, or I do not have more than one child. But this woman who is a beggar, how did she reproduce 4 children? Oh, the population is only good. It is only good for vote counting, for election winning. Those are the only benefits this your northern children are meant for. He even went ahead and said that the reason why the North is finding it difficult to catch up is because of their large population. When, for instance, 100 billion is given to the North and the same amount of 100 billion is given to the South to build educational infrastructures, give educational scholarships, and maybe grants, if in the South you are counting 5 children in need of education, you'll be counting 40 children. So my question is, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? When we talk about having a civilized society, when we talk about religious regulation, when we talk about pushing a common law above Sharia, they will tag you all manner of names. They will tell you that you are a pagan, kafiri. Look at this northern senator, Ibn Allah, telling us that the northern leaders are not failures, that it is the predicament of things, that with time Allah will provide solutions. Hey, God Almighty, that Allah will provide solution. But this same senator understands what it means to live in a luxurious lifestyle. This same senator go and check the school his children attend. Go and look the type of car. He is one of those that collected the 250 million SUV. This shameless senator coming out here pointing fingers at the South are the reasons why the North is behind. The same South agreed to the quota system and the federal character. I did a video yesterday when El-Rufai came out and said that this is not how to build a nation. A nation that wants to be great is built solely on meritocracy, not tribalistic policies. Policies that pushes inequality. Policies that push hatred amongst the people. It should always be the best that gets to the position of being a leader. Yeah. But Senator Ibn Allah said that the South has been the cause of the chaos, trying to push an agenda against the current president of the day. Saying that the current president of the day is the one pushing hard policies that is further impoverishing them. The same policy applies to us in the South. But because we don't cut our coats beyond our material, because we are educated, enlightened, we understand that you do not reach. You do not extend your hands beyond your reach. You don't climb a tree beyond its branches, because you will fall off and shatter. But here they are, saying that Tinubu is pushing hard policies. Yes, it was the North that voted Tinubu now. It wasn't the South. The South voted for Obi. Go and look at the statistics. Go and look at the numbers. From middle belt downwards to the South, Obi won. Obi got his majority votes from the South. You guys said Obi was a Christian. You guys said Obi is an evil man. It's not to be trusted. You all follow the religious jingoists. Okay? Because of religious bigotry. Oh, you guys followed through with Tinubu. Now you are complaining, saying that it is the South. Una never see anything. Una go still see shege. Bye for now.